so today I'm going to be teaching you how I make my signature protein bars. They are full of peanut butter and they are so freaking good. Everybody loves them. I bring them to the office, I bring them to my boyfriend, I bring them to my mom. I started making my own protein bars because I'm trying to be more conscious about using plastic, and you know, I was buying a lot of bars and throwing away the wrappers, and I was just like, I don't need these wrappers. I just want the product inside, and I think it will be cheaper and better for the environment and all these other things. So many reasons I want to make my own. So I started experimenting, and I've made, you know, different variations. I've made them in the shape of balls. I've made them in the shape of peanut butter cups. But lately, I've just been making these rectangular bars, and they're kind of a copycat of the Perfect Bar, which are delicious, but they have dairy in them, and I'm just like, ugh. They used to have a vegan one and they got rid of it. I don't understand. This recipe does have honey in it, so if you are vegan, you can use maple syrup, but I find that maple syrup doesn't stick. It's not as sticky, so the bars are just a little bit more crumbly and not as formed together, and the honey's a nice flavor. Anyway, so I'm gonna use honey, and I pretty much don't measure anything, but I will put some rough measurements for you. Basically, I just make sure I have enough of all the ingredients so that if it's too wet, I can add a little bit more dry, or if it's too dry, I can add a little bit more honey or more coconut oil, or you get the point. You will need a big jar of peanut butter, big jar of oats, big. You will also need an unflavored or natural flavored protein powder. This one's my absolute favorite. It's the best tasting, it's organic, it's cold pressed, it has a well balance of amino acids, just absolutely my favorite brand. What else? I've got a ginormous thing of coconut oil as well. Boom, Thrive Market, this is like the best deal for coconut oil. You're gonna need chocolate of some sort. So you can do chocolate chips, you can crush up a chocolate bar. Today I don't really have enough chocolate chips, so I'm gonna do a mixture of both. I think those are all the ingredients, unless I'm forgetting something, which I'll figure out along the way. But let's get started. So the first thing that you have to do is blend some, oats. I said oats. You have to blend oats into flour. So you can buy oat flour, but just buy oats, and then if you have a blender, blend them up. So I'm trying to make a large batch of bars. So you can see I'm using quite a bit of oats, like 2.5 cups. And you'll see that when you blend them up, they actually condense a little bit, and it's not as much as you thought. And then it turns out that the oats actually don't make up more than half of the dry ingredients. So you'll see. So pretty much, we're going to put all of those oats into a big bowl. We are then going to add the protein powder. Like I said, I'm trying to have bars for like all my friends and my friends' friends and my coworkers and myself for like a couple weeks. So how many am I at? 5? 6. That many? Yeah. So I'm just gonna mix those two together with a spoon. Another thing I'm going to add in here just for fun. You don't have to add this, but I have some on hand, so I'm going to put in some maca. If you've never had maca, you might want to taste it before. See if you like the flavor. A very important dry ingredient that I forgot to say earlier is our friend salt. Ugh, I mean, this salt is really salty too. So we're gonna set that aside. Don't you hate when you open up the peanut butter and it's like that? It stresses me out, and then I spill so much when I mix it up. Then the peanut butter is too dry. I just microwaved the honey so that it's liquid, and I'm also gonna add that in. It's all hot. I have no idea how much that was. When I'm editing the video is when I'm going to come up with the measurements. Because really, at the end of the day, it's like, some people want it sweeter, some people want it more peanut buttery, some people like it less salty, some people like it more salty. I mean, you can't mess them up too bad. If you take a spoonful of that, you're welcome. You will just be having a great day. I microwaved about 2/3 cup of coconut oil, and I am just having that on hand because I know this is going to be difficult to mix together. But here's the dry, here's the wet. Before I add the wet, I'm adding some powdered peanut butter because I realized this is actually supposed to be part of it. I'm doing like half of this jar. Okay, this is the best part. Blah, 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 blah. Why am I using this like baby spoon? I really want to get serious here. Okay, people that regularly film recipe videos, like, can you, my camera is covered in peanut butter. This whole clip was such a fail. Very difficult to make recipe videos. I really respect people that do this a lot. Like, do they have a camera person? Because I don't. Okay, so, you can really get in there with your hands. Oh my God, it's so delicious. Every time I make these bars, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make so many. And then they go so fast, so fast. Okay, so once the texture is kind of like that, like, you know? Good. You're gonna throw that into the bowl. And really, you're gonna struggle here, so just use your hands. I kind of just like to punch it. We are going to stick it in the freezer for about 10-15 minutes. So, they're out of the freezer. Look at that.